When I was 10 years old, my friend called me up and said that her dad had just installed a zip line in their backyard. They lived on a lot of land, and now we could quickly zoom from one end of the yard all the way to the other. I went over and we began to zip line, and I loved the sensation of flying. Later in the day, my younger sister came over, and I was so excited to share this new experience with her. At the time, my younger sister was about 4 years old, and we called her Minivan because she is the mini Vanderbird. Now, Minivan is a little more cautious, and growing up, I oftentimes aggressively encouraged her into going into many of my adventures, escapades, and shenanigans. As you can imagine, growing up being my younger sister wasn't the easiest role in all of the world. Minivan is kind of afraid of heights, and above all things, she never, ever, ever wants to get hurt. But I aggressively encouraged her as I helped Minivan up the tree, and I explained to her that she could hold on to the handles, and soon enough, she would be flying. I was giddy with excitement. I knew that as soon as she began ziplining, she would forget about her fear of heights and forget about her fear of getting hurt, and she would embrace the flying sensation. So, we went up the tree. I saw that she was holding on to the handles, and I told her that she was getting ready to fly. I said, "Ready? Go!" And I pushed Minivan out of the tree, but she did not fly. In fact, I pushed her and she began falling out of the tree and tumbling towards the ground. Apparently, she wasn't holding on as tight as what I thought. And so often, as a business leader and as a sports coach, it's my job to push employees to do more and to be more and to dream more and to go more. But this brings me to a really good point about leading high-performing teams. Understand that there is a fine balance between pushing your team members so that they can fly and pushing your team members out of a tree. First, build a relationship and make observations to assess how and how much a person can be effectively pushed. Every person is different, and it's important to build a relationship to assess how a person can handle various challenges, types of stress, and motivation. Look at past situations and compare to current situations. And then communicate. Had I communicated with Minivan and truly asked if she was ready, if I had listened to her response, if I had made certain that she needn't merely hold on to the handle, but to hold on tight, then I might have pushed her to fly rather than pushed her out of a tree. And from my observations, she appeared to be holding on just fine. From my observations, she appeared to be handling the stress. She appeared to have a tight grip. She appeared to be ready. She appeared to be prepared. But had I spoken to her and not just made assumptions from my observations, I would have discovered that she did have her hands in the right position, but did not yet have a tight grip. Communicate. And then also know the limits and make adjustments where needed. In hindsight, maybe Minivan did have on a proper grip. Maybe she was holding on tight, and maybe I just pushed too hard. It's possible. I was really pumped for her to have a new experience. And there's nothing wrong with pushing people, but be mindful of the limits of each person. Minivan was only 4 years old. Perhaps I pushed too hard. As a leader and as a sports coach, it's a part of my job and a part of my job description to encourage and to push people to do more and to be more. But here's what I want you to do today. I want you to look at your team members. Look at the people on your team and look at the people that you are leading. And based off of your relationships and your knowledge of the person, can you push more? Can you push differently? Can you or should you adjust or alter the way that you are pushing your team members? Position yourself in a way to push people to fly rather than pushing them out of a tree.